humans, and thank you for coming back to the Sovereign Brainwash. And today I'll be talking about the continuing series about the logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are manipulations to make you, the other person, wrong and the arguer right. And in today's fallacy, I'll be talking about the begging of the question, or circular reasoning. It directly presumes the conclusion into the actual question in the first place. The conclusion presumptuously ends up in the beginning and also the end, never accomplishing anything and having no substance. For example, a good argument would have a conclusion that supports its stance with a good argument. But when you're having a begging of the question, what it is saying that, well, A is the problem, and the reason why we need to do this is because A, that's the problem. Or, this is true because it said it was true. Or my favorite, it's just the way it is, right? It's just the way it is. Circular reasoning can be where A is because of B, and B is because of A, and so on. You can't get a job without experience, and therefore you can't get experience without the job. Or stating that something is true because simply rearranging the words that it's true. It's a vicious circle. Or another statement would be like, my boyfriend's always honest because he's always honest. Well, how do you know he's honest? Another statement would be more like this. A better argument would lay like this. It would look like, my boyfriend is honest because I always find him in his authentic natures. He says what he's going to do when he says when he's going to do it. And I never have to second guess him because there is nothing to hide. He doesn't hide anything from me. And therefore that would be a better argument instead of just saying, because I know he's honest. It's like staying on the message and like the big lie technique where they repeat over and over and over the same question in fact to the point where the other party simply has to accept it. Oh, that's what it is. Except when they do this, they write it over and over and over in separate ways or in different words, therefore pushing the point so much it bulldozes. The news and media use this one quite a bit. Like they'll talk about a certain party or a candidate and the problem at hand and saying, well, the problem at hand is this, A, B, C. And then their answer as to why is because of this, A, B, C. This happens a lot in ideologies and isms. So a belief can be very strong in the sense that they want to prove their beliefs, even though sometimes beliefs don't really have definitive lines. These lines are more or less a gray area, and it's not necessarily always to be true for everyone. So these people with beliefs that they hold true as 100%, that's the way it is, they will use this argumentation against the other person, holding a commitment to their own truth and pushing that ism on the other person, being that they must accept that as their truth as well. These doctrines might be preventing the other party from seeing this, and they can't see that they're just assuming that that is the truth versus having actual facts or a argument behind it, supporting it. Or you can find this even in the medical department where people will claim, well, I've got ADHD. And then people will ask, well, how do you know you have ADHD? And then they'll list the reasons. Well, I have ADHD because I can't focus, I have trouble with this, I have trouble with that. And then you'll ask, well, why do you have trouble with that? And then they'll answer, because I have ADHD. You see, it's almost a circular reasoning. It's almost like there's a label and nothing supporting it. Certain controversial isms out there today are having statements that saying, I am he, she, it, and or whatever pronoun they so choose, because they feel this way. I feel like a them over a he or a she, even though we might look at the with biology in mind and stating, well, how do you know that? How do you know that that's what the truth is, that you were meant to be that way? And then they'll just have the argument of saying, because I feel that way. And that's not really having a great argument. I want to say that saying like, well, look, because I felt this way from a child, I have grown in these mannerisms ever since. And because I have done this ever since, therefore I feel this way. That would be a better, more supported argument versus just being, because I do. I just do. Or you can even sit there and say that within the Bible, people are having this ideology that they know that God is true. And the reason is because of the Bible. Well, it says so in the Bible, because God is in the Bible. And therefore, it's not really answering the question versus just circular reasoning. Now, if they sit there and decided to say something along the lines, I know God is true because there is this blank space of consciousness and awareness that we all are a part of. We all can understand that there is this space of awareness within each individual consciousness. And that, to me, is an understanding that God is true. That would be a different statement versus saying, because the Bible says so. Get it? You get it yet? It's using the actual conclusion of the answer within the question. So begging the question and or circulating the reason. Assuming what needs to be proven is just simply in the question itself. Claiming your conclusion as one of your premises does not mean you're raising a question. It means that you're evading the actual question. So assuming the truth, to argue the truth, is simply evading the truth. So better yet, is to understand what ideologies are and how just a simple belief and idea can be pushed on another person. And then having a kind of a roundabout way to just have pointless argumentation instead of expanding on awarenesses that helps lead us to a logical conversation over something that's just blatantly not going anywhere. So to make sure that your arguments are going to gain progress, have evidence behind your statements and not just asserting them into different terms and or repeating yourself consistently. Have different points to gain on and to build upon, and not just circular your same point over and over and over and over again. You've seen this in the media, we've seen this in ideologies, we've seen this throughout society, and it's kind of a not great habit, and it doesn't expand our awarenesses in general. And to know how to have a logical conversation over one that just has the same argument over and over will be beneficial for everyone. Teach this to your children, teach this to adults because they need to know what this is all about as well, and understand that when we just assume, you can make an ass out of you and me. And yeah, that being said, that's the whole concept behind begging the question. Make sure you share and inform others and help this paradigm shift by what is happening on the individual level, because when we all choose to learn and grow individually, we will all learn and grow as a collective. Thank you very much, and bless you all.